Alrighty, guys. So we have a slight change in plans. If you're watching the last episode, I did do some necromancy, obviously. I've got myself up to 69. Now, I had a slight change of plans in what I was originally going to be doing. If you remember, what I was originally planning on doing is just kind of sort of doing combat for a little while and then work on the upgrades and get all the upgrades as I was getting up to that point. I was looking at Reddit, and apparently there is another way of doing this where you basically focus on some lower tier rituals and things like that and kind of sort of just get prepped up for when you want to actually make stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to collect all the materials that I need in order to get 2 sets of the tier 70, 1 tank, 1 power, and then get all the materials I need basically to get my weapons up to tier 90. And then I'm just going to focus on low tier rituals until I get to 120. And that's when I'm going to start focusing on the soul collecting. So I got a lot of monotonous grinding ahead of me now. Well, that took me a few hours, but I finally have all of the materials I need to get 2 sets of tier 60 armor. I needed to get 40 more or lesser ensouled. I actually have one sitting in the bank. So let's go bank all of this and go make some 2 sets of armors. Well, damn, my math didn't math. So obviously my goal is to get 2 sets of tier 60. I got them both to tier 50 and I'm down to my last 2 lesser ensouled cloths. So I need about 8 more in order to get everything to tier 60, unfortunately. What I could do is take my legs and boots and get those to 60, but I just wait until I get everything. So let's go get more cloth, I guess. All right, so the second time around, the math did indeed finally math correctly. So I am now at 2 sets of tier 60 equipment. I have 2 quests that I want to get done, and those 2 quests are that old black magic and the vessel of the harbinger. So I'm going to knock out these 2, and that should give us a couple levels, and then we're back to ritual hell. All right, so once we talk to death here, we will have a vessel of the harbinger all taken care of, and spacebar through all of this, and quest complete. We got this awesome necromancy lamp for 10k as well. Yay, I just broke 100,000,000 necromancy XP. I have finished. So originally I set myself up to get the goal of doing the Spirit of War, so I needed to get 3,000 souls. I got that. Then I began thinking, you know what, for the combat training I would want 4,500 souls. So I ended up doing greater communes to be able to get that 4,500 so I can buy the spectral scythe ability, which will help me with AFK combat, so I am free from rituals for quite some time until level 90. What I'm going to end up doing is finishing up both of these quests here, and then once I get to the quest points of doing the other quests, I'll do that. But I'm basically in a combat to level 90 from now on, and then back to ritual hell. All right, as I said in the last clip, we're going to start this quest, the Spirit of War. So we're going to end up killing Hermod, I believe. So let's dive right in. Let's surge in a boat and dive in a boat. Oh my god, this is going to be amazing. Whee! It's like the desert for the clue. Wait, I shouldn't do that. I'm going to be shipwrecked. Oh, well, that's pretty cool. We get to see Tavia. I wonder if there's an interaction if you use a rod on her. And talking to this guy should be quest complete. After I spacebar through all of this. There we go. So we got the plate. I think that's for tier 70 armor. And now we can start working on this tier 70 stuff. Ooh, and we get 45,000 necromancy XP. Let's go. Which takes me to 76, and I get Living Death. All right, so with tier 70, I'm able to go with both tank and power armor. I decided to do the power armor first, so I have to kill some Calcite Queen and some giant moles. So I thought now would probably be a good time to talk a little bit about my bars and how I'm setting up for my combat here. Now, this might sound familiar because I may or may not have already made a video about this. You'll know by the time that this is out, but I can briefly talk about it here. So let's talk about how my bars are all kind of set up and how I'm going to approach learning the actual combat with necromancy. So the way I see necromancy is it runs around 3 separate resources. First is your souls, where you need your residual soul stacks, which you can get up to 3 via using soul sap. So I want to be using that as well as touch of death, which gives me the necrosis stacks. So the 3 resources you have are your necrosis stacks, your souls, and your adrenaline. So what I did is I set up a really tiny revo bar of just always having soul sap or touch of death going off on cooldown, because I want those going off as much as possible to continue to generate stacks. Eventually, I am going to be taking those off once I feel more comfortable using them, but I want to make sure that these are going to be used consistently. Obviously, Soul Sap is a 5.4 second, so it's kind of like G-Conk, where I can use it basically every third ability, which is the goal. Now, what else is on my bar? I set my conjures on my default basic buttons, which is D, F, and Control A outside of A and S. Conjure skeleton, because I'm pretty sure I want to be using that as much as possible, because the control for it is absolutely bonkers. And then what else I did? I put Control S as my blood siphon. I don't see this being very useful for specific encounters, but it could be nice for a quick little heal, which is kind of where sacrifice is on my bar for everything else. Next spot, Threads of Fate, I put on H, and the reason is for that is that's where I'm just used to the chain ability and ricochet, so my multi-hitting abilities, like my core multi-hitting abilities, and Threads of Fate works very similarly to Greater Chain, so I thought this would be a good spot for it. Living Death, since that seems to be like the damage boosting kind of ultimate, you know, similarly to Zerk and Sunshine and Death Swiftness, I put that on the same button for T. My threshold buttons, which are E, R, and W, are putting for Finger of Death, which uses the Necrosis stacks. R is Volley of Souls, which is my big kind of soul using threshold. And W is on Bloat. I just kind of stuck that here because the W key is rarely ever used on anything but other abilities. And that's kind of how I see Bloat as an ability. And finally, we got Soul Strike on Q, because Q is my stun button typically. Control Q is normally my threshold stun, but obviously there is no threshold stun. Initially, I was going to put Volley of Souls over there, but I just put my Spectral Scythe over there. And then I have my auto attack on Y, which is normally my save for my Tendrils ability, but I wanted to have the auto attack on the bar just so that I can still kite kind of effectively if I didn't have another button that I could hit. Also, because I know Death Skulls is going to be the Zuck capability, I stuck that on Alt Q with my other Zuck capability. Alright, so I finished my 5 KQ kills and my 5 mole kills. Now, as weird as this sounds, I actually did learn quite a bit on managing the resources and things like that for necromancy, but we can now make our tier 70 weapons. So let's go ahead and do that. And the new lantern. And then we're going to make the Death Guard helm here, because I do get the 1 plate that I had, which now gives me a 1% chance to apply Death Mark. So it's been a couple of days since I played, but obviously last time I played, I did a little bit of PVM with the Calphite Queen and the Giant Mole. I did decide to make a little change on my bar. I actually turned off Revolution. The reason being is that even though I know Soul Sap and Touch of Death want to be used basically on cooldown, it was getting a little weird trying to pick abilities. For some reason, it just felt awkward with Revolution. So I'm going to try to use the hitting those on my own. Now, what I'm doing is I'm going to be doing the Fight Kiln because I need to get my Zuck cape back. So we're here and we are charging up and donating Tuckle so that I don't degrade my armor. But let's get back to the kiln and let's go get that cape. Wait, I didn't want to use oh wait, I didn't use Volley of Souls. What the fuck did I just use? Dude, I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. There's like so much to keep track of. Finger gun again, I think. Oh no, I didn't want a finger gun there. Damn it. Probably should have taken runes for Threads of Fate, huh? I'm getting beat up here. What the hell? Oh yeah, I forgot. I have a tier 70 now. Wow, that did like negative damage. Dude, my DPM is so bad. What the fuck? What am I doing wrong? I don't understand. I also don't have a book on. There's a Jad. Yay, I killed the Jad. Holy crap, this is taking way longer than I expected it to. Come up, skeleton. Oh yeah, look at that. Come up. Finger gun. Dude, I'm like trying to kite these meleeers. Oh my god. I almost killed myself. Oh my god, I am gonna kill myself. Eat. Pray magic. Pray range. Thank you. You know what? I'm just gonna fucking do this. Screw you up. Oh my god, this is so much easier. Oh boy, I almost picked the Zill. apparently I had just an equal amount of points. Hey, neato, that's 50 Huracan Teal too. So if you look at my Zuck log, I actually do have a pretty decent Zuck log, and I have 28 igneous stones. That being said, if I open up the bank here and I type in stone, I don't have any igneous stones at all in my bank because I've disassembled all of my extra ones outside of what I needed to get the cape. So we got to go get another Zuck run for an igneous stone. Oh no! I'm an idiot. I took off my shield. Oh my god, I actually did that. So I super screwed up that page part, and I ended up actually not having barricade ready, and somehow I still passed it. I don't remember what to do. Yay. Oh my god, I don't remember this fight like at all, but I guess it worked out. Didn't get anything obviously, and I forgot to put on my Luck of the Doors, but oh well, we got our igneous stone, which means we have our necromancy cape. Ooh, there's that igneous stone, thank you. Well, this is very exciting. We have our igneous stone. We can get the igneous cal more, and let's combine them into the Zuck cape again. So now that I finished that cape, I wanted to finish these two quests, Tomes of the Warlock and that old black magic. So I finished up Tomes of the Warlock. All I have to do is go talk to Mr. Ted over here, surge on over to him, and spacebar through this, and that's quest complete. And from that, we get two lamps, 40k archaeology XP, and 60k necro, which gets me to 77 necromancy. All right, so we're on to the next quest of that old black magic. So let's get this quest done and get moving to the next thing. All right, on to the final step of the quest, which is killing Hermod, so I can get the animated drumsticks. Let's get in there. Hell yeah, 47 seconds. Still have zero idea what I'm doing, but my DPM is definitely climbing here. I got a PR, but didn't get it. Oh, never mind. My seed aside killed my carambola seeds. Yay, my first plate. Hell yeah, back-to-back plates. Let's go. Hey, another PR and another plate. Yay. So with my big spoon moment of getting 3 plates and 10 kills, I decided to upgrade 3 pieces of the Death Dealer robe set. So as you can see here, I upgraded the robe top, I upgraded the robe bottom, and I upgraded the boots since I'm using Cinderbanes, which means I can now disassemble my high armor of Hanto and get the perks put on here. And that made me realize that I also forgot to perk both my main hand and offhand weapons. So let's get some perks added as those as well. Hey, my animated drumsticks. I can finish that. All right, so we finished up getting finding all the spots for the drumsticks. We hand these in, and we got the entire amazing band all back together, and we spacebar through all this. And that is that old black magic all done. And another free 45,000 necromancy XP. So with starting out Hermod in this episode and getting into the bare bones basics of Necromancy PVM, you'll see that we ended up getting 13 kills so far with 4 plates, which is super lucky, I know, and finishing up the animated drumsticks. I thought now would probably be a good time to cap off the episode with our usual opening of the sacks. So out of the 9 regular sacks, just speed through those. We got some Alex and some energy, and let's see what we got out of our very wilds. We got an obliteration, nice. Next one, we got a hard clue, and a medium clue, and no core. Wah wah. So I know videos have been coming in a little bit slowly just because of my own personal change in schedule. However, I'm making some changes in some workflow, so hopefully we'll get back to 2 videos a week, and then actually quite a bit more, because I am also planning on doing that Final Fantasy Challenge run. So if you're interested in that, be sure to like and subscribe. Be sure to like and subscribe. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you guys soon.